Hello and welcome to episode 27 of the Inner Miami Show. My name's Brandon Griffin, and I'm one half of your co-hosting duo. With me is Mike Down Early Longan. How you doing today, my man?
Listen, so
You're
I
on
like
fire with these predictions.
yeah, so I don't know if you like to play practical jokes on your wife, but I love to. And we've got
Yep.
Sonos speakers all around the house. And so this morning, Tracy's downstairs cooking breakfast. I'm upstairs, and I started blasting in sync. It's gonna be me across the whole house because it's gonna be May. I see Sean calling out working on May Day. Yeah, well, I started
Love
out
it.
with a little. It's gonna be May for the whole house. Wife died laughing, like cracked up. A couple years ago, I did the same thing. I was at the office though, and I started playing spooky sounds, and she actually got freaked out and called me. She's like, the house is making weird noises, but yeah, no, it's gonna be May,
I,
fellas. We're entering May on a hot streak, right? Like
yeah.
when's the last time we said that? Have we said that before? I don't think we have.
I don't think. I don't know. Did we? I don't remember. It's hard to keep track. I feel like we had a good run with Phil before.
Well,
Maybe
Phil,
that was
Phil,
in
I
May.
mean, last season he started the first two games strong, then we went like a 6-game losing streak, so we did not enter May with a hot streak.
I don't know. But you're right. We probably haven't started this. Well, I know we haven't started this well ever. We were top of the league once after match day one, and now, here we are and sitting up top still, which is unusual.
Hey, and before we get going farther, I know we probably don't have all of our listeners listening yet on the live show, but I want to throw out a big note to Joe Kerr because his memes lately, or whatever they're called, have been on point. That Star Wars Messi, Darth Messi, was fire.
Perfect.
And so, big shout out to Joe Kerr because he's nailing it. If you're not following him on Twitter, you need to be. We repost as much of his stuff as we can, but it's
I
some
would say
good
follow
stuff.
him if you know, I'd follow him before I followed us.
I absolutely agree. I think I told my parents the same thing. Follow Joe, and then if you still want, follow me.
Yeah, there's some crossover there. Um, But before we jump into the Inter Miami stuff, as you guys know, or if you're new, maybe you don't know, we are planning on starting a Fort Lauderdale United podcast. So we do kind of sneak in some news and updates from them. If you haven't already, you should be getting either a phone call, email, or both from your ticket rep. If you put in a season ticket deposit, just kind of letting you know what benefits you're going to get with that. Um, if you're an Inter Miami season ticket holder, you're probably very familiar with the benefits. You're getting an account rep. I think we all have the same one, but we'll see if there's multiple.
It's Nick. You got Nick.
I wasn't going to say his name.
It's
I
Nick.
don't know. Yeah,
We don't know if
it's
there's
Nick.
more, but everyone we've talked to
We
has
don't
got
know.
Nick.
He
But it's
sounds like a
exciting,
good
right?
guy.
I mean, I like the fact he called, he left a
Yeah,
message, he's emailing out. So they're starting to try out do the right thing. It doesn't sound like they have a lot of information on prices yet. I did ask some questions, but hey, it's a start. It's a start to a brand new club.
yeah.
The clock's ticking, right? Like first game's in August.
Yeah, and just to run through some of the things that you get as a member, don't forget, I don't know if the first 954 people put down deposits, but the first 954 get their name etched on the new stadium. You get an exclusive member gift with your purchase. You obviously get your
Hopefully, it's
tickets.
not just a card with our number on it. Hoping.
Well, we have to realize that this is USL Super Leagues. It's not MLS
Listen,
money, so we
hold
might
on.
get a.
Miami FC gives a free jersey, like
I
if you
know.
sign up for season tickets. So, which are their
Well,
jerseys are shockingly expensive. So,
they're pretty
like,
cool
let's own
too. They
that.
do a nice job. Some of them,
They're playing at Nova. Sean, ask them where
yeah,
they're playing. It's gonna be Nova. There's
and
gonna be a
that's where they're
groundbreaking.
building their stadium.
I've heard groundbreaking is sometime in the next few weeks. I don't have a definitive date, but they did
Once
share
we
that
do,
with
we'll
us.
let you know. I believe it's the Dolphins' old training facility. Didn't they train at Nova? I feel like that's where
I
it
still
was.
think it's their. Do they? I still think they have
No,
training
their
facilities
training
there.
facility, they built a new one right next to Hard Rock.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They have practice fields there. Yeah. You get playoff priority for tickets there. Ticket exchange. You can exchange your tickets for future matches up to 6 times per season if you can't attend a match. Invite only meet and team event. Meet the team event, and then merch and parking discounts. And I wasn't I didn't see it. I think there's a couple more things that I'm sure will come out as we go forward. But yeah, now's the time to join if you want to get in on it from day one. Um, we've also heard, I don't know for sure. We haven't gotten it confirmed, but Fort Lauderdale United was at the Miami Sharks game, rugby game, over the weekend, and I think
They
they're
were at Weston
planning to
Blast
join
3.
us, right?
Yeah, they're at Weston Blast 3 versus 3. They've said they're going to be at an Inter Miami game. Have not confirmed which game they'll be at, but they'll be. They said they want to get out there. I mean, obviously, they want to get. They're fine. We have an established soccer base, football base that they want to get a
Yeah,
hands on, and I'd
yeah.
love to help them.
Same here. That's what we're here for. But moving right along into our Inter Miami news. Just jumping right into the New England Revolution recap. Starting 11. Kind of surprised me to see a couple names in here, but we had Calendar at the back, Alves and Freire as center backs, Negri replacing Alba, who's still out injured. Um, and obviously we have Wygant out on the right back. Midfield was Ruiz, Messi, Busquets, and Gressel, and then we had Campana, Taylor. I'm sorry, Messi up top. So played as a 4-3-3, which was nice to see because we all know how much Mike and I hate the back five.
So I think you undersold our surprise. We were shocked, right? Like we were definitive on the show last week. Messi will not start.
Yeah.
Suarez will never play. It was a huge shock. I was at Disney World and we were texting back and forth. I'm like, I can't believe we're doing this. This is insane.
And I hate, before you go into it, in our text at Disney World, I text you and I said, man, this would be the perfect match to have Robbie Taylor back because I didn't think he was coming back so soon. And I wish I would have said it on the show, but I was just like,
But no
that was
one
my biggest
expected it.
surprise. I
No
didn't
one
expect him to be
expected
back.
it. Yeah. Now, I think we also have to say before we get into it, New England was decimated. So New England is the worst team in the league and got hit with a stomach flu that took out a bunch of their starters. Two of their guys like were taking IVs before the game to get on the pitch. This was weak competition. And then they scored 40 seconds into the match through and what can only be called a Drake Calendar boneheaded play. Like I think Taylor said caught in no man's land. Drake was indecisive. He either once he committed to going forward, he had to go all the way forward and just basically take the penalty or whatever it was going to be, but take the foul.
No,
Stay
what
home.
Calendar should have done is stayed home.
We should have stayed
He
home, but
had
once he
two
made the move
defenders
forward,
there. Alves was closing.
Yep.
Freire was right there. In my mind, and credit to Joe Kerr because he said it while we were texting back and forth. Drake's got to trust his defense in that spot, and he clearly didn't.
I think, but it's even worse because if you don't trust your defense, commit to the move. And he didn't even do that, right? He didn't. He came up and then stopped,
and then
went
stuttered.
wide. Right. If he had gone all the way forward, he actually might have stopped the play. It would have been boneheaded still. It's still a bad play, but maybe the goal isn't scored. He went all the way forward.
Yeah, and I mean, his arms were close to stopping it. But in reality, like he should have never put himself in that position.
No, it was horrible. It was
He should have stayed home.
play.
Because the other thing too is you open yourself up to a cross behind you. Like you just completely left the net open. And if had anybody been making that run, even if he didn't get chipped, Sean, I think the defense against New England is more than adequate. As we saw, they should have kept a clean sheet. If it wasn't for Drake screwing up, they pretty much locked down New England's offense. You're playing the worst team in the league. As a goalkeeper, you shouldn't make that mistake. And, we're kind of going to get into Drake a little bit more, but Those kind
Yeah,
of
no, this was
plays
this
are
was this
plays
was
that can kill you
100%
in
on.
this league.
I am. Listen, my number one standing is for Noah Allen, and we know that. Who I just learned has the same birthday as my son, so that even racked it up another notch. My number two is for Calendar. Like if you look behind me, I don't know if it's on the camera, but I have a Drake jersey behind me. I love Drake, but that was a boneheaded move, and he deserves to be blamed for that, and hopefully he learns from it. You do like
Yeah.
make your mistakes when you still win, not make your mistakes when you lose, right? But it was a bad move, and it has it. I feel totally comfortable saying it. I'm sure he knows he screwed it up, but it didn't hurt us. But you can't not say it.
It didn't hurt us today.
Didn't hurt us
But
today.
Drake's capable of making those mistakes. And
So my
we'll
number
get
two
into
thing
that
is I want to
later.
say is you're gonna think this is an attack. So let me finish before you cut me off. The biggest
No,
mistake
I don't
Tata
think
made
it's
with
an
this lineup.
attack. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
We
the biggest
talked about
mistake
this
Tata
already. I
made with
agree
this
with you.
lineup was Campana. Campana was not ready to play, and two reasons. One is his touch was just horribly off, and two, he was actually. I think someone said in one of the chats, and like he was playing more as a midfielder. He didn't seem like he knew where to play. I was disappointed that he was started over Afonso or over Borgelin just because he just didn't seem ready. Like I'm not attacking. I'll go on. I will attack Campana. We know that. But I like attacking Campana for who he is. And more attacking, like, I don't think he was ready to start this match. And
Yeah.
I think Tata probably said, we're gonna win this anyway. Let's give him some game minutes. But the fact is, when he was on the pitch, we scored once. The minute he got off the pitch, and like granted Suarez went on, we scored three more times. Like it was very clear Campana was.
You're forgetting that Campana set up. Didn't he set up no, it was the first goal with that back heel flick, right? That hit
Maybe.
Taylor, and then Taylor set up Messi. Yeah, that was the first goal. My bad.
But
But I think you're right. I don't think Campana was ready. Campana has shown over his time like he's a rhythm guy, like he needs time to get into form, and he's not in form. They talked about it on the broadcast where 90 minutes before game time, Suarez was in the starting lineup. And then once the news broke about the stomach virus, like 60 or 45 minutes before the game, Campana and Suarez were switched. And they speculated, Taylor Twellman speculated that was because Tata was like, if they got a stomach issue, let me have Campana go in there, eat up the minutes, and bring in Suarez to clean things up. And that's kind of what happened. But I agree. I don't think Campana was ready to be on the field, especially when you got a guy like Afonso, who's young. He's ready. He's in decent form. Like, give the man a chance.
Specifically, Campana's coming off injury, right? Like if Campana was totally healthy, that's a perfectly logical decision, and you can't question it. But Campana coming off injury, like on turf, no reason to risk it. You have Afonso. I know someone just said here. Sean just pointed out the Borges was injured. I don't think I actually knew that. I said I don't think I didn't actually know that. But you had Afonso, you had options. I didn't like that call.
Yeah.
Alex Winley said this was the best managed game of Tata's career. He did the 4-3-3, or Tata's career at Miami. I actually don't argue against that. I think this was one of his better managed games. He made good subs. He made good decisions. This was the one decision of his I did not like.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because like we've seen players come back from injury and get like a game or two at Inter Miami too, and like warm up, which I kind of expected, especially with Afonso. But I guess with Borges' injury, like you kind of had to have Campana there. I didn't realize he was injured. So, but yeah, I can't really complain too much about. I can't complain at all, honestly, about Tata's tactics for this game. As much as I bitch about him, like I got to give him credit when he does right, because I want to be fair to the guy. He nailed it. Like subs came in and subs made an impact. Subs were made at good times too. Bringing Suarez in at like the 63rd minute, and then bringing Kromoski and Rojas in at the 75th minute were good moves.
Rojas looked good. I think it's worth calling out. He looked energetic. I see some people already calling him for him to be a starter. I'm like, let's calm down a little bit.
Yeah,
like, the dude's been played 20 minutes on the pitch. And I think that's the other thing I want to say here is I want to pour some cold water on people. This was a bad team. I think Branton, you called this as a 4-0 win before these guys got the stomach virus. 4-1 almost isn't even good enough against this team. Like we should have been able to do better.
This was 4-0. Let's be fair. This was 4-0.
Okay, but it should have. No, because I knew. No, I'm not giving you 4-0 because that takes away my prediction that we are going to have a stupid goal scored on. Have to dig it out.
I'm not going to take that away from you. I'm just saying, like, you take out Drake's boneheaded play, and this is 4-0.
Yeah,
like,
it's 4-0.
This is what you expect from this team, and you know, the thing is against bad teams, like it's very easy for good teams, contenders like us. I'm not used to saying that, but that's what we are now. It's easy for us to overlook opponents like this, and you kind of saw that we kind of didn't do that. We looked competitive the whole game. We controlled the game. I mean, we were talking about the defense, right? And the defense not being good. But when you look at it, New England had 7 shots and only one of them was on target, and that was the chip.
So I want to
dominated them.
I want to passionately disagree with you. And I want to based on one number. And that number is 68. Until the 68th minute, this was a 1-1 tie.
Right.
And I get it from a numbers perspective, and I haven't been the one arguing numbers for months now. But from the numbers perspective with the possession, shots, yes, we were clearly in control of this game. But we weren't scoring. And until that 68th minute, which by the way, Campana comes off in the 63rd, Suarez comes on the 63rd. We didn't take control of it. Like we didn't win this game until
you say that
2/3 of the match was passed.
So you say that, but the stats say something different. Okay. In the first half, New England had 1 shot, which was on target, which was their goal. We had 6 shots, 2 on target, 1 big chance, which was the goal. We had 61% of possession, and we completed 90% of our passes. But we dominated that game, and we wore them down.
But what has my number one criticism always been of Inter Miami? We just can't score. We can possess.
But you can't say that in a 4-1 win. Like it doesn't matter when your goals come.
But it's that. Here's my problem: when you have to wear down a team that has a stomach virus to the 68th minute,
Mike,
you should be.
You don't know what players had the stomach issue.
It was talked about pretty highly on the broadcast, man. They were saying this guy's got and that guy's got. I don't remember any of their names because I don't know New England's lineup anymore since they kind of passed torch. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't think we can look at this and go, Inter Miami showed what we had. Like, this is what we're supposed to do. And I actually don't think we did as well as we should have. I think it should have been 4-0, 5-0. It should have been one of those games. It easily should have been one of those games where it's just a messy highlight.
Listen, you are complaining that it should have been 4-0.
Palmer.
No.
4-0.
You're complaining that it should have been 4-0. And you would be happy with that.
No, I don't think that's what I'm saying.
That's what you just said.
I think I want 5. I want 5
4-0 or 5-0.
I think 5. Yeah, I said it.
And this was 4-0.
I'm coming back. I'm saying it should have been 5-0 or 6-0.
You're getting nitpicky, man.
I am.
You're getting nitpicky. Because very clearly, you're just finding things to complain about now, man. Like,
First off,
serious.
That's my rule.
Be serious.
No, but I'm just saying. I don't want.
Be serious, man.
Like, I don't think you can look at this game and say it was great. If we scored, if we were in a commanding lead, if we were in the lead at the end of the first half, I don't get to say this, but it was the 68th minute before we took the lead. The 68th minute.
A game where you and I both 4 goals is not a bad game.
Yeah, but the 4 goals came in the last 10 minutes.
The second half was better than the first half. I agree with you. But you can't say this is a bad game.
Thank you. Sean's agreeing with me. It was a bad game until our A team came on.
What?
It was.
Sean, what is your overall impression with the game? Was it a good game or a bad game? Because, the first half was rough because we didn't score enough. But we finished it off in the second half. I'm good with it. It's a good game.
It's not.
It is.
It was a decent game.
Mike, if one more goal goes in here, you're saying it was a great game.
If one more goal went in the first half, yes.
Stop.
Take control in the first half.
Stop. Mike, you're being
I'm just saying.
ridiculous, man. Absolutely
See, Sean,
ridiculous.
come up. Bad game until 80th minute. I'm not happy,
Right,
but
but
we
that
won, so I
doesn't
take it.
answer the question.
He did. He said bad game until the 80th minute.
But overall, the game was
He'll
good.
take it. It was
Yeah,
okay.
it was a good game.
It's okay.
I'm not saying this is a great result. I'm not saying this is a
Why can't
world beater
I hold
result.
us to the standard that our roster says we should? This was the game where Messi and
Messi
friends.
scored 2 goals. Suarez scored a goal. Alba didn't play. Busquets looked great passing in the midfield.
That pass,
Yeah.
Taylor Twellman, I think it was Taylor posted the recap that showed how. Oh, beautiful! I get it, but I'm not going to say it was a good game. I think it was an okay game.
Mike V, you are absolutely right.
I'm just saying.
4-1 is a good game, man. How many teams? Listen, Chelsea. All right, bad example. Man City could play Chelsea. Oh no, that's a bad example.
No, that's a bad example because for whatever reason that can't happen.
Man United could play Chelsea, right? No, but my point is, Man City could play Sparta Prague or whatever, right? Way different classes, and Man City could win 4-1 in that game. And you're saying it's a good game. Teams don't go for the kill. Like if it's like this team is not going to score like 8 goals.
But again, listen to what I'm saying. Like, my biggest issue is we didn't have the lead at the end of the first half. That's the expectation against a team like this.
That's thanks to your boy Calendar. If we would have gone into half 1-0, you probably wouldn't be saying any of this.
It's possible, but we didn't. And again, I'm going to say this. I'm going to backtrack on the second thing I said. One way or another, we were giving up a goal in this game. We were.
Like, no.
That's our team. That's this team right now.
Okay, but if you can't attribute anything, I don't see that the defense did anything wrong, man.
I'm actually not.
What happened is, and you saw it.
I'm super critical of our attack. I have been critical. I have been consistently critical of this attack from preseason forward.
Back when it was just practice. I challenge you to watch a game sober, and then you can tell me. I don't believe it.
No, I was.
You were in Disney. There's no way you were sober.
No. So what the problem was, I was so hungover from the night before, like painfully hungover. When you see Tracy on Saturday, ask her how hungover I was Saturday. So like I had a few drinks in Epcot, then we went back to the room, took a nap, then we hung by the pool where I had 1 glass of wine, and then I watched the game. So I was as sober as can be. Sat there, no interruptions, watched the match from start to finish.
Okay,
like that's probably the clearest head I've watched.
But if you watched it,
I did every second.
After we scored the first goal, after New England stopped trying to park the bus, we scored the first goal. We saw things start opening up.
So question, and I'm not criticizing your answer. You weren't nervous before that second goal went in that we might tie this game?
What do you mean? That we would end in a 1-1 draw?
Yes.
No.
See, I was.
I don't know.
I was worried we weren't going to find the net. Up till 67th minute, I was nervous about. Once that second goal went in, my nerves went away.
What's hilarious about what you're saying right now is that your prediction was we would go down early, but we would win. So now, as your prediction was happening, you were like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
we're not going to win."
Yeah,
no.
Listen, I'm not believing him. There's a reason why I don't gamble. Just because I predict something's going to happen doesn't mean I actually believe it. Like, I get nervous.
There's no way New England was going to score more than 1 goal on us.
Look at Sean. At the 1-1 point, I was happy with the draw. I'm not the only one that was looking at this going, I'm not sure we're winning this match. Then we get the second, and it all opened up.
I didn't see anything in that first half that made me say we can't win this.
No, hold on. That's an interesting statement. I knew we could win it. I wasn't sure we were going to. What's possible and what's probable? I don't have a lot of confidence in this team. I am thinking confidence. I'm again consistently. I've been very.
What I don't understand is you're saying, rightfully so, New England Revolution, one of the worst teams in the league. You don't have faith in a starting lineup that had Messi, a bench that had Suarez, Busquets started. You don't have faith that that team can beat New England Revolution
until Suarez came in. So I've been saying 67. Let's say 63rd. I didn't have faith we were going to close that match out. No. Once the subs start, because remember, you're
Right.
also here at this
But
point. I don't know
even
Tata's going to make the subs.
even down 1-0, I saw Suarez on the bench, and I said, if Campana can't get it done, we bring in Suarez. We're good. You have
But now you're
Kramaski on
putting.
the
Wait, hold on.
bench.
You're now
We're good.
saying what you're saying is that you had confidence that Tata was going to make the right substitution at the right time. That's what you're saying with that statement.
What I'm saying, yeah. Listen, you could bring
Wait,
Suarez.
that's a
It could
big
be
statement.
1-1. It could be 1-1 in the 80th minute, and you bring Suarez in, and you're winning the game.
You had more confidence in your coach than I did. That's
No,
it.
I
That's
have more
simple.
confidence in the players on the field.
No, because
I've been a firm believer.
the people that scored and made this game happen were not on the field yet.
Suarez,
The 63rd,
there
and
is
not the
0% chance that Suarez does not force his way onto the field if we're 1-1 in the 80th minute and he's still on the bench. 0% chance that man doesn't push his way on the field.
You're still counting on Tata to fill out that card, and I'm not giving him that.
You don't think if we're tied 1-1 at the 80th minute, you don't think Messi's coming over to him and saying, Suarez, that guy behind you, bring him in? You're the one who's saying Messi's coaching this team, and you don't think that happens?
I didn't really consider that, but that is a fair point.
Yeah.
But
I'm not worried.
At the time I was watching this
New
match,
England Revolution.
At the time I was watching this match, I did not consider Messi screaming at Tata, and that is a fair point, and I will concede it. You can add a 1 on our board. I'll give you a point here, but my statement has been consistently watching this match. I did not feel it was guaranteed until we got the second goal. But that's a fair point. I'll give you the point.
I'll take it.
Take the point.
I didn't have any worry about this.
No, the next game we can all worry about.
But as we all know, it was a 4-1 win. I almost got it right. Actually, I think we both get half a point for this, right? I called it a 4-0 win. You said they score early. Half point.
Yeah, I think I actually had him scoring 2, so I'm going to give you more points on this than I did me. I had the score early. I knew that was going to happen, but let's take it half.
It's harder to predict that we're going to go down in the 45th second.
Well, I didn't have 45th second, but I would have told you the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, but
wait till you guys hear my prediction for this match, because I got a whole prediction for this one too coming up.
It's going to be something. But yeah, it was cool because another huge sellout in an NFL stadium, 65,612 people, a New England Revolution record. And quite honestly, it felt like a home game.
What was interesting is I had a couple people come up to me talk to me after the match, like, "Oh, man, it's so cool how they keep on moving to NFL stadiums to play matches." And I'm like, no, that's actually where the Rev play, but no one ever actually shows up. It's mind blowing to these casual soccer fans that are really what are casual soccer / just Messi fans about how inconsistent MLS is with their stadium choices.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think MLS right now would give anything to have been like, oh, yeah, you guys go play in Dolphin Stadium.
Someone actually asked me, do we think by end of season that the Inter Miami will play in Dolphin Stadium? My answer I said at the time was no.
I don't think so.
But I was thinking, hey, this is a lot presumptuous to me. I actually don't think it was happened. But if we got to MLS Cup final, could they?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because you remember there was like a lot of talk. We thought that the Open Cup would get moved to Dolphin Stadium.
Remember, there was a scheduling issue. There was that rap concert.
There was the concert.
Hip hop concert. God, I sound horrible saying that.
But no,
hip hop concert.
That was for League's Cup. That was for his debut. Remember?
Yeah, because I think there was a scheduling issue for Open
for League's
I think
Cup.
Open Cup had a scheduling issue too.
No, I think Open Cup was something like the Moss brothers were like, no, we're playing at home.
Ross will let it happen for enough money.
Won't. Listen, the man just turned down a $10 billion offer from somebody to buy the Dolphins, the stadium, and the F1 course, and he said no.
That's different. That's him giving something up.
Two shits about it.
Him saying, hey, you get all this money, and you don't have to do anything. It's just in your pocket, and you don't give anything up. That's easy for him. You don't say no to that.
The problem with that is that by the time we're talking about MLS Cup and all this, the Dolphins
and we're so far out. Yeah, it's so far out in the future.
Dolphins are playing there. Like, then it becomes so much more complicated. That's why I kind of think
it's a 50-50. I mean, two things. A, it's a 50-50 shot. B, there are stadiums that turn over because it's not like baseball to football where you had the sand and stuff. It's still grass to grass. You just
Yeah.
repaint the lines. Listen. It's very presumptuous. I'm not ready to say we're going to MLS Cup.
I bet you're ready to say we're going to make the playoffs, though.
Yeah, mathematically speaking, we're starting to get to a point where I can't deny it anymore. Like, there's just math has been on my side, and now what? I think I texted you right after. I think I said this to you after the match. I might put on Twitter. With that win, and especially with Philadelphia losing back to back, we're top of the table now in points per game. Like, that's been my whole argument the whole time, right? Like, let's not get excited. Teams can catch up to us. Now no one can essentially catch up to us just off like math. Like, they have to actually go win the games. We're now in the real race. The race is starting.
Head-to-head matchups are going to start mattering.
Yep.
And,
I wish we were. I can tell you one thing. I wish we were playing Columbus early in the season. The fact that we're not going to get to Columbus till after all this sucks. Like, that's going to make that match that much harder.
I don't care. We'll be all right.
Which, by the way, I want to
be our best versus their best. I love it. So yeah, I think that's all we got to say about the Revs match.
We talked a lot more about it than we thought we would.
Yeah, but that's all right. Players of the week and team of the week. This week we had two players in the team of the week. Unsurprisingly, Messi up top starting and Sergio Busquets on the bench. I get why he was on the bench, but I think, had Acosta and Tillman not scored goals, he would have been in the starting lineup. And then Messi takes player of the match day. No brainer there.
I think I said it to you. Like, oh, haha, Messi, of course, team of the weekend. I'm like, wait, no, he had 2 goals and 1 assist. Yes, of course, he's team of the week. Like, that's what's funny about him making it every week is you kind of want to initially
take it for granted.
It's not even take it for granted. You go look at, Garber's just making him be team of the week. And then he's on this, 5-game streak now of 2 goal contributions per game. Never been done in MLS before. And 2 goal contributions basically guarantees you making team of the week. And he's just doing it every single week. It's absolutely insane. I guess obviously the question is, can he keep it up? Which I think he can when he's playing. Honestly, I don't think that'll stop. It's what's the impact when he's not.
What's even crazier is I don't know if you saw The Athletic had a breakdown where they were projecting like where Messi might finish the season. And obviously we don't know what games he's going to play and he's going to miss time with Copa, this and that. But they were like, even if he misses Copa, there's a chance that he catches Vella's goal scoring.
So funny story about this. Season. Like, I'm going to go a tangent for 30 seconds. My friend won or did a silent auction and won Inter Miami tickets. And she reached out to me. She's like, hey, Mike, I won. It's these 3 possible games. And it's like the 2 games immediately after Copa and another game. And I'm like, yeah, they gave them to you because Messi's not going to play in any of these matches. like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, these 2 games are after Copa. And this, I forget what the other game was. I'm like, but it's all timed for like when he's not going to be playing. That's why they gave him up. She was not happy at all. She didn't think it was funny. I was laughing at her. But yeah, people, I think they're just like last year where people were very surprised when this happened. I think it's going to happen all over again. And the smart season ticket holders are already making moves to try to get ahead of this. Because, man, think about that. That's a tax deduction.
Tax deduction?
No, because the person who donated it was a tax deduction for.
Oh. I was like, how can I make this a tax deduction, Mike?
Yeah.
How are you writing off your tickets? The IRS? Do they want to check out your returns? But
yeah, Joe Kerr, he's going to end the Miami's top scorer. Yeah, there's no question about that. I think you had.
I still think Suarez can take him.
You think?
Because I don't think Suarez is going to play Copa. And if he's here while Messi's out, I think he can catch him.
We'll see. Because I think the hard games, it's going to be Messi.
I feel like Golden Boot, though.
Messi-ing.
Can I be very honest? Golden Boot is going to be Messi, Suarez in some sort of order.
I agree. It's going to be
with
some
Lewis
kind of
Morgan.
Order.
Lewis Morgan might sneak in there.
I am what's the guy's name on RSL? Arango. I
Mm,
think Arango's going to get it.
no way. But
I'm not taking
maybe.
a shot. I just think when Messi's not here, he's going to fall behind. It's going to be hard to catch up. And I think Messi's going to poach off of Suarez, even though he's not even trying. I just think that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be kind of like we're talking way back. The year after Reggie Bush won the Heisman, both him and Liner, the quarterback, were competing for it, and they ended up neither one because they poached each other's vote, and I forget who got in, won it. I think that's what the Golden Boot race is going to end up looking like. Where
Was that
these
when
top two,
Vince Young won it?
maybe, and it kind of slid through because the USC guys, it's American
Yeah,
College
they
Football.
took the votes away from each other.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen here with goals. I want him to win it. Let's just be clear. I would love him to win it. It'd be very exciting if he won it. I just don't.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
And then we can have another night called Golden Boot Dior. And they can charge us $400 to go see the trophy.
I mean, I don't think any of us went to that match, so.
No, I didn't. I don't think anyone did, or any of us, I should say. But
all right, let's go to the next slide.
Next slide. Inter Miami around the league. So young players of the match day. Benja Kromashki gets in there, which is awesome. Last week we had Alves in there. And then power rankings, Inter Miami moves up to the number 1 spot. We knock off Columbus.
I will tell you, my feeling on the power rankings will be entirely determined by who wins tonight. If Columbus goes to Monterrey and beats Monterrey, I just have to think they're the best team playing right now. By the time we play each other, which you don't care, you think we are.
Power rankings are so stupid.
Okay, I'm just telling you my belief of what the best team is. If Columbus does this, if they don't, which I don't actually expect them to, it's Miami. But if they go to Monterrey, in Monterrey, hold on to that 1-point lead, or not 1 point. Hold on, the 2-1 aggregate lead.
Mike, people's fingers were getting ready on Twitter.
I know, people get so mad at me. But hey, listen, huge call out to Ben Ha coming right off the injury, getting right back into that top 5. I do think that matters. He's looking good. I know we're gonna get into it a little bit about midfielders and who should be playing, but Ben Ha is looking pretty good, and I'm really excited for him because I think we were all nervous for him. He's retaining. I'm obviously retaining that Olympic spot and making a case for himself and to get onto U.S. men's national team sooner than later. I'm not going to say for Copa. I don't think he's there yet, but sooner than later, he should be getting some real playing time, especially I think came out this week. It sounds like the Argentina coach made it quite clear he's not welcome on the Argentina team.
Yeah, I think so. But and then just breaking down the end of match day 11, the Eastern and Western Conference standings. Really, in my mind, no huge surprises on the Eastern Conference. Columbus obviously prioritizing CCC, so they've taken a bit of a dip. Philadelphia moves down after they've made up some of their games in hand. And Miami, Cincinnati, New York up top in the top 3 in the East makes 100% sense to me. Western Conference, I think, is crazy. Salt Lake City, LA, Vancouver, Minnesota. Not what I expect in the top 4, especially Minnesota not having a coach until right before the season started. Real Salt Lake. You know, they win quietly. They do a great job of putting their team together. No flash, but all substance. And the Galaxy, I didn't think we're going to be this good. Vancouver is never this good.
So we got to point out though. Okay, we beat the number 1 team in the West, tied the number 2 team away. The number 6 team we played without Messi and still managed a draw. Like, kind of to I think the points you try to make. We're looking really good against these good West teams, which I think is exciting because we really haven't played the cream of the East yet, but in the West we have, and we've held our own.
Yeah, and well, I mean, yeah, we'll see as the season goes on.
2 of those was beginning of season, but still, like,
yeah,
it's not for nothing.
No, and we're starting to finally get a feel for who's good, who's not, who's focusing on MLS and stuff like that. But our next segment, and I kind of changed the name, Mike.
Okay. What name are we going
You,
with?
you had keep or sell, and I said
We're going hot or not?
we're going keep
Keep or
or
upgrade?
upgrade.
Okay.
I think it's time, and Mike and I both kind of think it's time to
To have the
talk about
conversation.
these players.
Yeah.
I felt like it was time to talk about Drake, and I think Mike led the charge for Julian Gressel. And honestly, at this point, I think questions have to start being asked.
Well, they are being
And
asked, right?
these
Because this is
two,
being led by Twitter. Like a little bit, this was led
right?
by
But
the
but
Twitter attacks and stuff.
you and I haven't talked about this, and we
Yeah.
haven't talked about it on the show. So that's what I'm saying. The question has to be asked: can these two be on the roster if we're going to make a serious run this year at hardware?
Do you want to go? How do you want to do this? You want to do Drake first, we'll back and forth, and then we'll go to Gressel, or do you want to do both?
Let's do Drake first.
All right. So huge Drake stan. Love the dude. I think there was questions if he was going to file a stalking charge against me at one point. I'm saying upgrade. I'm throwing it out there. I like Drake. I think between the posts, he's one of the best keepers in the league, if not the best. I think top
Andre
three.
Blake.
No, Blake had a horrible game last week. I don't think Blake.
Yeah, but
Well, just let me keep
we're
it going.
not
Let me
just
keep it.
using
Let
one
me keep it
game.
going. I'll just say top three. In a Tata led team, the goalie is a part of the offensive attack, right? He's the initial start to build the attack, and that is not Drake's game. It's not who he is. He's not capable of it. We've spent 3 years now saying, when's he going to learn the footwork? He's going to practice it all offseason, and it's not happening. He is still worth quite a bit of money. I don't know if you saw today. What's the new expansion team? San Jose, not San Jose.
San Diego.
San Diego. They're being listed. They're being talked about with Ochoa out of Mexico. They're looking for a
No.
keeper.
What's
Yeah.
his face? No. Bogart came out and said that those are
Well,
false. There's
okay.
been
I
no
know. I know. Okay, hold on.
conversations about Ochoa.
My point was they're being talked about as with keepers. Not that they're going to get Ochoa, but there's a lot of talk with them trying to go for a high end keeper. And Calendar's from the West Coast. Don't forget. I can see a fit there. We could get a bunch of GAM for him. It's an internal trade, which means you can do it off. You don't need to do it during the window. That then being said, we can get a keeper who fits Tata's philosophy in a win now moment. I am okay with this move. I don't like it as a human being, but if I look at it as a soccer fan, I want to upgrade. I think an upgrade is warranted, and I think an upgrade could make a difference, a big difference in a run on the MLS Cup.
Yeah. We talked about the
His
Sergio
wife is pregnant. He's
Romero.
not supposed to be drinking at Epcot. His wife will kill him.
He can be drinking. She
Yeah, but
can't.
have you ever taken a pregnant woman to Epcot in the middle of the summer? Or you have. It's not a good idea.
I was there a couple weeks ago and I
Yeah,
was
and it wasn't a good
drinking and
idea.
she
Wasn't a good idea.
wasn't and she was fine. Listen, when you stop and get a drink, you get a snack. You're
And a
good.
bottle of cooler.
That's what you do. You get a
All right,
snack
so
for the
I went
wife.
out there. I said it. Sean does not agree with me. Where are you saying?
So like I said with the Sergio Romero rumors, that would be an upgrade. Drake does not fit this system. Drake has a history of making plays like he made against New England. We've washed them off because historically we've been a bad team. But if we want to contend for trophies and we want to be a team that can be considered in Club World Cup, I understand Drake Calendar won us Leagues Cup. That's great. Made up tournament doesn't count. It is what it no.
Still a hell
It
of a moment.
counts. It
Hell of a
counts for the
moment.
trophy, and he did. He did win us Leagues Cup. But do I think Drake Calendar is the right goalkeeper for this team? No. Not the way that we're playing now. For Phil Neville's system, he's perfect. And I think we talked about it. Like we expected him to go to Portland until Portland went out and got a goalkeeper. Like I think there are teams where he can be a superstar. He is an excellent shot stopper. Excellent. Great in a penalty situation. But this team needs a goalkeeper, A, that can distribute, and B, that can communicate with his defense. And I don't think that Drake is communicating properly with our defenders. He's not, he's relying on Freire to organize the defense when I think a keeper in this system should be organizing
Yep.
the defense. Like when you saw Drake and Phil Neville's system, he was organizing the defense. He does not seem comfortable doing that with these guys now. And maybe that comes with time, but we don't have time. Messi's
It's
career is coming to
we're in a win it
run now.
now
We need to
system. We
win
got
now.
it's
Yeah.
this season or next, and even next is questionable.
So I would not be surprised in the summer to see us upgrade at the goalkeeper position. And I'd be
I'd
okay
almost
with
wonder if
it.
we might even find a way to do it sooner if they play the cards right. So
I don't
all
think
right,
we
so
can bring anyone in until the summer
remember
window.
there's weird rules if that league
We
is
can
in a
transfer
transfer.
out. We can transfer out if the other team is in an open transfer window. We can't transfer in until the MLS window opens because
Even
we
if they're
can't
on a
register players,
even
even
if
if
they're
it's
on
a
a free.
free.
Oh, I
Even
thought
if
we
it's
could
a
if it's on a
free.
free.
That's why we had to announce Rojas before the window closed.
Gotcha. All right, you want to go first on Gressel or me?
I'll go first on Gressel. Um, I am not as upset with Gressel as Twitter and Mike is.
Whoa, you haven't even let me go.
Well, I know your feelings on Gressel.
No, you don't.
I
But
I
continue.
think I think Gressel has shown flashes of brilliance. I think he is still adjusting to playing in the midfield. This dude's a guy who's played most of his career as a left back or a right back. And you know what? He has chemistry with the guys, like with the Barca boys, and I think I'm fine with it. He's played every single game. He started every single game this season. You don't just do that in this system, like if you're bad. And Tata believes in him. And he was a guy that I said, and I'll be honest, I said before the season started when we first started getting linked with him, and I think it was our first episode, I said, I want Julian Gressel. This is a signing I want to make happen. And I think he's working in this system. Um, do I think there are better options out there? Yeah, probably. But I don't think at this moment we need to upgrade at his position. I think he is fine, and I'm not upset with his play like Twitter is.
So you made some accusations against me that I am a little bit offended with. I actually not only do I want to keep Gressel, I think he deserves to keep a starting spot at least at this time. A few more
Yeah.
weeks, I might change my mind, but
Well,
I think he's
let's be
kind
fair
of
though. You weren't always there.
no. I'm not. I wasn't, but
Yeah.
I think he's earned that starting spot. I think he's playing well, good. I think his biggest flaw is he's scared to take a shot. I mean, too many times now I've seen him at the top of the 18 with the ball at his feet, no one really in front of him, and he still wants to lay the pass off. He still
Hmm.
he hesitates. That to me is his big flaw because he's had multiple chances to to contribute to goals. I think he would
Yeah.
have I think he's got maybe one goal or none. He would have a couple goals if he just took the shot, but that's his big flaw is not shooting. It's not that he's not passing. He's playing the hold up play. He's defending. He tracks back every play he can to defend. Uh, I don't understand the Gressel hate. I think the only reason you hate Gressel is if you think we can go out and pick up some midfield, another $20 million midfielder from La Liga. Like he is more than good enough to stay on for now. I think there are some guys on this team that could supplant him, but they're not there yet, and he's there. So
Yeah.
that was offensive what you said about me.
It's not offensive. Historically, you've been anti-Gressel.
I have, but I am a man who can change, and I think he's playing well. I actually don't understand all the hate against Gressel.
I don't either.
There's so much hate against Drake, and I don't think he deserves a lot of it. But I'm willing to concede he maybe not the keeper for our future. I don't understand it for Gressel right now.
Yeah, I don't
Mike
either.
V commenting about running. Listen, we could create a meme about all the funny runners on our team. No one's funnier than Alba, in my opinion.
Mm,
Alba cracks me up when he's running so
no,
much.
and I'll tell you who the funniest runner on our team is. And Joe Kerr and I discussed this, and I believe it was either him or Doug. It was the U.S. Open Cup final, and we were standing together in the north stand, and we were watching. And the funniest guy who runs is Benja.
Is it?
He runs like a newborn deer who does not know how to control his legs yet. And every now and then they like stumble or they cross over.
No.
Like,
Alba
yeah,
has this little running motion that cracks me up. I don't know. I feel like what the next thing we do is we need to joke her to start figuring out how to cut videos, and he needs to do a running, like a comparison of running video across all of our players, like who has the funniest run.
I think we'd have to pay him for that.
I I give him a lot of liquor. Actually, I gave him 3 IMCF2 tickets today, so I mean, money's been spent.
Mm,
I guess technically it hasn't,
money.
but still.
All right. Moving on let's jump into the Red Bulls preview. So, for those who don't follow the league, their last game was a 1-1 draw against the Whitecaps, who we saw are second in the West. And more importantly, what this game is, it's a homecoming for our beloved Lewis Morgan. That's why I put that picture right there so that everybody could just see the majesty that is.
You are ignoring the fact they beat us 4-0 earlier this season, because that affects this game too.
It doesn't affect this game, and I'll tell you why when we get into it.
Lead the way, my friend. I am excited. To see Morgan back. I mean, I think a lot of people know Morgan is my son's favorite player. He will have a sign on Saturday. Morgan's my birthday. Can I have a jersey? Morgan's going to break his heart probably yet again. Last time Morgan actually yelled at him, I already promised it to somebody else. I'm like, dude, just walk by. Don't even acknowledge it. It was almost worse. I loved Morgan, and we've talked about so many times. He was a good guy. We can't not mention how nice his mother was. He was the nicest person on Facebook.
But he was my first Inter Miami player jersey. I remember picking up at the La Palma release event, and I was lucky enough in COVID to get a picture with him, and I think it was LGP was with him. Obviously socially distanced and with masks on, but yeah, one of my favorite pictures, and I'm leaning hard to wearing that jersey on Saturday.
No, he was always great with autographs. There's so many times with the kids, he took photos with them. No, we love, and he was, when the going was tough, he was the guy there. And the fact is, it's been talked about so many times. We sacrificed him for sanctions.
Now.
I mean, like Paul McDougall, whatever his name was, not only cost us everything, but they cost us Morgan as well. So,
yeah.
But yeah, let's get into this game. So this is a good Red Bulls team.
It is, but this is why this game is going to be different. Our starting lineup is going to be significantly better than the lineup we rolled out against Red Bulls. Our starting lineup the last time, you ready for this? Suarez and Campana up top. Alba, Sunderland, Busquets, Gressel, and Robbie Taylor as a right back. Then Allen, Christoph, Aviles in the back, and CJ Dos Santos in the goal. This is people are thinking like, oh man, we can lose this game. We can. There is a world where we lose this game, but there is no world where we lose it like we lost it in New Jersey.
Yes, I agree. I could not agree more on that statement. This is going to be
a dog fight.
I want to maybe argue this is our first real welcome to MLS 2024 matchup. Everyone's gone through, we're past the teething stage. We're past the let's get to know your teammates. Who knows what's going to happen? We're past that now. That we have a team. They've got a team. Because listen, Forsberg is a hell of a player. Morgan, this is a good team. The other thing here is they match up ridiculously well against us. Specifically, we want to play out of the back and they want a high press. And we struggle against the high press. And I'm going to tell you, if we show a 3-5-2 in the lineup on Saturday, I'm going to look you in the eyes and tell you I think we're going to lose. You can laugh at me when I say it, but a 3-5-2 against that high press should make everybody nervous. Now, if Tata can take one good game and make it 2, a little 4-3-3, I won't be negative Mike as much, but
no one and I'm the biggest Campana stan there is. No one says no.
Oh, I thought So Vice City Lucas, for those listening on the pod, Vice City Lucas goes trade Campana for Morgan, who says no. Like I'll throw in a case of beer with him too. Like we'll help him out the door. But the only way we lose, I'm not gonna say the only way is we could get in trouble very quickly on poor tactics leading up to this match. Like everyone knows the Red Bulls love that high aggressive press. And if you play into their hands, you're going to set yourself up in trouble. And so Tata has to be smart for this match. This is the first match. He's got to come up tactically smart enough to beat the other team.
So I will refute what you said there because I don't think Tata has to come up, and I don't know if he's capable of coming up with tactics to beat another team. He has to come up with tactics not to lose the game.
Yes, okay, I can live with that statement. Yeah, because
but if we roll out, if we swap Campana for Suarez and roll out the same lineup that we had against Revolution, I'm feeling real good going into the game.
Yeah, Alba still should be injured, but
Negri's been doing great.
Back. Yeah, no, this is an absolutely winnable game. I have it. So I told you online, and I'll share it here. I have it as a 3-2 win. But Morgan with a brace, and I'm going to go really out there. Oddly specific. Morgan had the third goal taken away by VAR. That's where I'm going. We win it. Not questioning the win.
Okay.
But they will score multiple times. And by they, I mean Morgan. And it gets we get nervous.
I am thinking if we roll out a 4-3-3, I expect this to be another 3-1 win. I think Morgan slots one in on us. But I think it's very easy to do what you want as Red Bulls when you went up against that lineup. I think this lineup is going to be very different. We're going to see Messi. We're going to see Suarez. We're going to see Busquets. We're going to see our best 11 that we can roll out, and I expect us to take care of business.
I hope we do.
I don't think we're playing around. And
I will say one thing:
the team is going to view this game as a time to make a statement and say, "Yeah, we're for real."
Sean, question: happy with tie? No. You need to win. Every match at home has to be a win right now.
If you have Messi on your team in MLS, you should never be happy with a tie.
The only game I will be happy with a tie at home right now is Columbus at home. If I get a tie with Columbus, I can live with it. But every other game, I expect us to win. I will say one weakness that Busquets can exploit. The benefit of high press makes you very susceptible to a counter. If we can get Afonso some minutes or Benha,
you don't need them.
Time. Oh, but you can have.
They would do good. But
you could
I'm
have
picturing it now. I'm picturing it now, and it's going to happen. Busquets passes to Messi. Messi lifts it over the defense. Suarez gets on the end of it with his right foot and boom, slots it home.
I think that's
going to happen.
But I think that's going to be a lot easier for Afonso than it is Suarez.
No. Afonso can do it from further out.
That's what I'm thinking about this happening.
About it being like that.
I'm talking about this more happening at midfield. Like, do you remember the match? I forget. I don't know who we were playing last year, where Busquets did the quick restart and just beautiful, like 30-yard kick over. No one was ready for it, and he beat everybody. I forget who was on the end of it, but it was like that is going to that's going to be possible against this tech, especially if New York gets behind.
Their defense is just begging for a Busquets and a Messi to just tear them apart, man. Like, you've got their starting back four when we played them was Dylan Nealis at right back. Andres Reyes
Jeff Poole had
a
big conversation about Nealis.
The other Nealis at center back and Duncan at left back. Duncan, I'll give you. Duncan is decent. But Nealis and Reyes, we should be able to take them.
So I'll say one more thing in the positive. We've had the conversation, do players consider rivalry games? Does it matter? And we've gotten the feedback from players that it does. A 4-0 shellacking, when your coach says he doesn't even understand what happened on the field, they remember.
Mm-hmm.
They remember what they did.
That, to me, I think, at least in MLS, probably means more than a rivalry. Is something like that.
It's probably a very recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, I think Busquets played that match. Alba played that match. Suarez played that match. The memory is real. It's probably one of the worst. Like, I gotta think numerically, it's one of the worst losses Suarez has had in a while. Like, they remember that one. It's gonna come back.
And Vice City Lucas, that's a great point. One of their starting backs, Eel, center backs, new addition, I believe, for this season, out with a red card suspension. So that's what you're probably going to see Andres Reyes again, and we all know how he defends.
So I'm sticking with 3-2.
And Reyes was out injured.
I'm sticking with 3-2, but this could
5-0. No, just kidding. 3-1. I think Morgan gets us one.
Anyone putting clean sheet at the end of an Inter Miami match won't insane.
Happen.
No,
especially against this team. Van Zier and Morgan have a real special connection, and Forsberg, you can never count him out. He does a great job orchestrating the offense. So that's why I think it'll be a 3-1. And I expect Morgan to score, and that's because he's so goddamn classy. He will not celebrate his goal.
But he still won't give TJ a jersey.
I have faith that this will be the closest TJ ever comes if he doesn't get it.
It's just a reminder, we will be celebrating TJ's birthday pregame at the we're going to be in the I'm not supposed to say this out loud. We're going to be at the community field for the pregame this match. Looking forward to it. If anyone wants to stop by, TJ has requested donut giveaway. I was thinking cookies or cupcakes, but he wants donuts, so we'll be getting some donuts ahead of time.
You're a smart man.
Freddie, welcome. I don't think Freddie's been on the show before. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're so used to the Vice Cities. Hey, Lucas, by the way, we got to chat before the match. I don't know if I said hi to you or what last match, but I know I missed my shot for being on the show, so make sure you stop by.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be doing our live show after the match too. So
we will be. I ordered a new bag to hold all the stuff in. I got a new tripod. I'm excited.
I love it, man. I love it.
I hate the bag I was using. It was a pain in the butt.
Oh, there you go.
What else we got next?
City Lucas, you said you're on.
What do we got next?
So last thing, and we have to talk about it, right, is the new leaked Inter Miami third kit. Listen, I wasn't going to put this in the deck. Mike and I have kind of talked about it a lot. We kind of had an idea what it was going to be. And, I saw the Miami Herald run with this. I saw Bleacher Report run with this. This feels very real to me at this point. I don't know how you feel about it, Mike, but I think this is what we're getting, or very close to what we're getting.
I think this is what we're getting. I want to say pretty certainly alcohol's fuzzing in my mind what we're getting. I think this is the best of the leaks. Let me start with that. I think this looks like a soccer jersey. I didn't want to say football because I didn't want to confuse the point. Like, it looks like a soccer jersey. I dig the Miami across the front. I don't think we're going to play very many matches in it because I think Royal Caribbean is going to be a little upset. I'm hoping they are not going to stick a Royal Caribbean logo somewhere on this. I'm kind of nervous about that.
I'd be okay if they did it on the opposite sleeve of the frac. Get rid of the MLS.
I could live that, or get rid of the MLS. But not on the front. I will also say, okay, I will own this jersey. There's no question. I will own the matching shoes. No question. I also am not in love with this jersey. Like, I want to love it. I want to be more excited for it.
I was in love with the first leak.
This became too Dolphins and not enough Vice City to me. Like, I wanted something more Vice City, and this isn't it.
And so I agree with that point, but I also think that if you're going Dolphins, you go 100%. And I think this is like a punt.
I'm not going to quote the line from Tropic Thunder about you never go 100%, because it's super offensive nowadays.
But I think you
But
go all in, is my point. And
see,
and I
no,
think this is
I
like sticking your toe in the water
see.
if
I
you're doing a
almost
Miami Dolphins
argue,
team.
and I think it's if you can take my face down because I'm blocking Tua, if you, because I think it's a kind of cool that
Oh,
the
sorry.
yeah, like I actually think this is pretty much all Dolphins, unless you want to make this like a 1971, was it 71 or 72?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
like
72.
unless you want to make this a 1972 jersey, like this is all Dolphins. Like if it's got the cuffs, it's got the lines, this is
See,
all Dolphins. I think it's too much Dolphins.
well, you're not a Dolphins fan, so
Well, I'm not. I
but
don't pretend to be
like
one. Like,
I wanted the orange badge. I wanted the Miami to have an orange outline like the number does on
and I agree with
Tua's
Sean.
jersey.
More white with the Dolphins is what I wanted.
If and I don't disagree. Their throwback uniform is beautiful. It is the best in the league. That white throwback uniform. And if we went in with that and just did white with orange and aqua um accents, like I'm all in. I think that's the only way you make
Yeah,
this like perfect. But I don't hate it. I like it. I'm cool with it. If the shorts look like that, I hate to tell you this, I'm gonna buy the shorts. I'm gonna buy the jersey. I might even buy the socks.
I so my other piece here, I think I said this the last time we talked about this, but God knows we talked about it so many times. I hope they make an authentic version because I don't want this to be just be only as a
Yes.
replica. Like, give me and we looked right, the Atlanta one, they did offer the authentic. Um, I want the authentic. I'm gonna own it. I don't own a Dolphins jersey, but I do go to games sometimes. So like I a lot of people said it. Like I would like this to wear to Dolphins games. Mine will definitely not say Messi, even though that's gonna be hard not to get a Messi one of these. I'm gonna have to use like every contact I know.
So Lucas, I saw 95% accurate when I pulled the photo earlier. Maybe I'm wrong. But I swear I saw 95%
Hey,
accurate.
Sean, this isn't true. If they wear them on the field, they'll do authentic. The ocean blue kits, they've never sold an authentic version of them. It's always been replicas. I've tried over and over to get the authentics. In fact, I think they play in essentially the shitty replica versions because they only have to make one. So got quiet there for a second.
Yeah, Mike is a Giants fan.
I am. I grew up a Giants fan, and I either go. I'll go with when the Giants play. I went to. So funny enough, I went to the Giants game this year, but my Giants jersey is from like 1985, and it's very warm. And I went on a hot day, so I ended up wearing a U.S. men's national kit because it at least was the same color. And I got a lot of shit from a certain individual about that.
From multiple individuals. It wasn't just me.
No, it wasn't you at all. You almost didn't give me. It was a certain guy
I
in the. No, I don't
I
think you gave
feel
me that
like I
card.
gave you a hard time.
No, it was Mateo.
Oh, well, we won't
Yeah,
get into that.
exactly,
But yeah,
exactly.
and
So if I say Lucas matching shoes, I mean that's been leaked a whole bunch of times.
I think that's the first time we've talked about it, though.
It's been leaked a whole bunch of times that shoes are coming with it. Footy
Yeah,
leaks, footy headlines has covered it a bunch of times, and
and
I'm
we
actually
can confirm.
I am super excited for those shoes because Dolphin shoes with the Inter Miami logo I think are going to be so badass. Like I'm really excited. I'm definitely more excited for those shoes than the black ones that came out that are on. By the way, if anyone wants the black ones, they are on StockX.
The price is dropping back closer
The
to
price is
retail,
dropping.
by the
So
way.
so the deal is they introduced them in Europe already. So I think that's where StockX is getting them, and then
Yeah.
they're bringing them over. So they're authentic. I know one of the guys that's a friend of the show wore them to the last match. They look pretty good. I'm just not willing to spend the 140 that StockX wants yet because there's supposed to be 100 later on the summer here.
Let me check what they are now. For those of you who don't know what StockX, it's for good site for sneakers. Um, they authenticate them too, by the way.
Mike, I will. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'll fit in an Eli Manning jersey, but yeah, my dad. One of my great moments as a son. So I think we all have those cool moments where you kind of repay your parents. So my wife, my wife had access to Skybox tickets a number of years ago at Dolphins, and she got one game a year. And it was a year that the Giants were playing the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. And I grew up as a kid. My dad had season tickets to the Meadowlands, and we went to go see the Giants all the time. So I got to take my dad. My wife gave me tickets. I took my dad to a Giants game, and when I picked him up for the game, I actually gave him a brand new Eli Manning jersey to wear. It's like I had that really awesome son moment of I'm doing for you what you've done for me so many times, which was just such a cool experience and something that it's like 7 years ago now. I still like just look back on so fondly.
Love it. That's good. Nice.
Nice things once in a while.
Yeah. Lucas, on StockX right now, depending on your size, it's like 135 to 140.
Yeah, because they're
Is
going to
what
get
they're going
cheaper because
for.
they're going to get the closer we get, right? They're trying to sell. And
Yeah,
the problem
once
with
they
StockX
release in
is,
the US, it'll go down to whatever the price is. I think it's
and they're charging
110.
like a 20% fee on top to ship and everything. So like
Yeah.
I was trying to bid at like 108 for a pair of shoes, and they're telling me out the door it's still gonna be like 130. When the Adidas one actually comes out, I'll use a 25% off coupon. I'll get them out the door under 100. So
Yeah. Speaking of Nike, Joe Kerr, you saw them. If you're Dolphins fan and you want something to wear with your Inter Miami jersey, it won't match brand wise, but the Nike Dunks, the Miami Dolphin Dunks, that's fire. Looks better than Sambas in my opinion, but I am a little biased towards Nike. But moving right along to our final topic of the night, and we're gonna keep rolling with this section. It's like fun from around the league. Some cool stuff that we saw online this last week. Had to start off with Diego Chara. He is now on top of the list for most appearances for a single club in MLS history with 377 appearances, all for the Portland Timbers.
you
Um,
but
go-
this is awesome. And Chara's an amazing player. You also got to mention, if you're gonna put this up, Dax McCarty became only the third MLS player ever for 500 total appearances this week as well. So you had two kind of major appearance milestones hit in MLS in the same week, which is kind of cool.
yeah, that is cool. You know, I think it's more impressive when you stay with one club for a long time. That's why Dax didn't make the cut. Because Dax has not been good enough to stick around one club.
That's true, but Dax
But
ended up with a finals Messi jersey. So it makes him pretty cool.
he didn't get the trophy.
But hey, listen, as he said it, not everything bad happened that night, and he got a shit ton of Twitter hate for saying it.
Yep. That's probably why he's not with probably one of the reasons why he's not with Nashville anymore.
That might be true.
I don't disagree with him. I'm just saying. And then the middle post is Colorado Rapids. So for those of you who don't know, this month is or I'm sorry, last month was Mental Health Awareness Month. Mike and I are both big proponents of mental health and taking care of yourself. And so Colorado Rapids, is part of this, decided to step away from their social media for a week and just let their Twitter account, their Instagram, everything just go. They released an awesome statement in support of mental health. And I absolutely love it. They're like, "Hey, if you want to stay informed, go to our website, watch Apple TV, but we're out for a week." And I think that's great. Lots of studies have shown like there's a connection between, mental health, distress, and social media. And I think teams doing things like this really helps get the word out there as far as taking care of yourself because it can be tough out there. And, I think at all times we've all struggled with issues and you know luckily if you have a support system you're able to get through it, but if you don't, There's lots of resources out there to make sure you get the help you need, and I love it.
Yeah, we've discussed this publicly and privately. Like, mental health is such a huge part of who you are, and it's always been so ignored. For those who need it, please reach out, get help. But yeah, I do appreciate anyone doing it. I did chuckle a little just reading this because they stepped away from the socials for a week, and like pre-Messi, Inter Miami stepped away from the socials for like a month at a time, and no one seemed to notice. But like, no, it's really good they're doing this. That
Yeah.
was my first thought.
Well, that and I think in sports and particularly, I mean, most people watching sports are men, and I think men and athletes struggle with talking about it or feeling comfortable talking about those things. So the more I see teams doing things like this, the better I think it is for everyone. But the last thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm gonna hide Mike's beautiful face for a second, is MLS next expansion. So we've seen this with teams like a couple of the teams joining MLS next this last year have been teams that are not affiliated with MLS teams. And so what we're seeing now is MLS next expanding into what is that one? 8 new areas. AC River, Carolina Core FC, Colorado Rapids Youth Soccer Club, which obviously is connected to Colorado Rapids, Connecticut United, Downtown United, Hoosier Premier, Keystone FC, and Southern State Soccer all joining MLS next year, which is just bringing more youth development, making that league more competitive, and I think is good to see. It's pretty cool to see that league expand because I think for soccer to be successful in this country and for U.S. soccer to be better in the future, we have to have better development academies, and I think this helps.
So I think it's interesting because I think the first non MLS Next Pro MLS sponsored team to win anything in MLS Next Pro was actually Weston FC here, right? Like they were one of the first to do it. Uh, Two notes on this, or one note on this, and then something else I just picked off the internet right now. I want to share with you. So Indianapolis looks like they're going to be the next expansion team for MLS.
And we didn't talk
A lot
about
of talk
that.
about this, that the Indianapolis people are pissed because they have a USL team, and this is going to trump in, and we all know what happens when MLS rolls
Well,
in.
let's be fair. MLS didn't just trump it. The Indy 11 had a deal in place with the city to build a beautiful state of the art stadium and soccer complex that probably would have rivaled most MLS stadiums. Don Garber goes up to Indianapolis and says, "Hey, we're thinking about expanding and putting an MLS team here, but you can't do this." And the government cancels the project, pulls out. It is the exact same bullshit this league did with San Diego and killed the San Diego Loyal. That is why I am wearing my US Open Cup Matters shirt today because MLS is out to stomp everything and every competition out that they don't approve of. And this is just another example of that. And I realize that I'm hypocritical because I support Inter Miami and I go to the games and I'm hosting an Inter Miami podcast slash show and I but I think it's important that we understand that what this league is doing, if there is a market where USL is successful in, MLS is going to go into that
Yeah.
market, stomp out USL, and put their team in the market. And that's what they've done with San Diego. That's what they're doing with Indianapolis. And I hate to say it, but Detroit, you're next.
Oh, a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Vegas, they're going to go after Vegas too. I think Vegas has USL. If not, they're still going to go after Vegas.
They're not as successful.
But I think I mean, it was
But
interesting
yeah.
watching the debate back and forth. But yeah, I think it's opening up a lot of wounds, and we're getting back. We went about 3 months after the U.S. Open Cup, and now we're kind of go back to it of MLS versus USL. And frankly, I know that it won't possible, but one of two things has to happen. MLS needs to buy USL, or I said this to you, I think I posted on Twitter. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney need to go buy a USL team and protect USL because it's got to be one or the other.
No, I think what will protect USL is they are rolling out Pro Rel within their thing, and I think that will help them.
I don't think it will. I'm sorry, I cut you off. I feel like I cut you off there, and that was rude of
You
me in this
did.
case. Not usually, it's not, but
I
this one was.
think the reason I think it will is because it will offer something different. It will give them a chance to form like bonds and relationships in areas that MLS is not going to go. I think like Miami FC, I hate to say this, but writing's on the wall. Tampa Bay Rowdies, however, MLS is not going to Tampa, not with Orlando and Miami.
But it's never going to be at the same level that MLS is.
But I don't think you need to get to that level.
But in that case, I'm not going to disagree with your argument.
Yeah.
I actually agree. Like, it'll always be a minor league compared to MLS. But for those who think it can rival MLS, it's never going to. I don't think never's a long time in this case. But as now, look at, like, we've got Messi. We've got, who's the guy just went to LAFC? Why was the guy skipping my name? Gerard just went to LAFC. Like, this is just going to keep on happening more and more, and USL can't compete with that.
And that's fine. And I think USL has accepted that that's where it's going to be. But like markets like Indianapolis is not a market that I think long term will be able to support an MLS team. But USL's made it their own. Louisville has developed and sold more talent overseas than a lot of MLS teams.
It's true.
So, we're seeing what that league can do, and I think as long as they do something different than MLS, there's a place for them in the country. I wish well, you know what? I can't even say I wish we were closer to a USL team to support because we are going to be supporting a USL team.
Yeah.
We're going to be
I
supporting
can't
Fort
support three clubs.
Lauderdale United.
And to be fair, we have a USL team and we're not supporting them, which is at Miami FC.
No, but I mean it was NASL, but I supported the Strikers, and if there was a closer USL team when Inter Miami moves to Miami, I would support them, but there's not, and I'm supporting Fort Lauderdale United because it's two things: USL, grassroots soccer, and women's soccer. We need more of both.
Let me talk opposite of grassroots real quick. So I just sent, if you go to your private chat, Brand, I just sent you to a link. I actually sent it to, click on the second link and share it. And I'll have you click on another link once we get past it.
The Union?
Philadelphia Union just opened up their 2025 season ticket price. I happened to find this when we were chatting. I was just kind of checking Twitter if anything come up.
Move this over here then.
You have to see the prices. And this isn't good. This is actually bad for us and frankly I think all of MLS. These prices are higher than Inter Miami for the Philadelphia Union. So I'll let you get that up. Kind of scary. So if you click into, I can see.
Wow.
Can you do full screen on that so we can see? Because there's some numbers on there.
I am in full screen.
Get rid of our pictures too.
Oh.
Go all the way. Get rid of us. Yeah. So I'm guessing presidential row is probably similar to our Loge, but like managers row, West Side, that's Inter Miami level prices. Like these are expensive for the Philadelphia Union, which has really
but you're talking about an established team in a large city
with no big name draw.
Yeah, but they've been competitive for years.
So what led me to this? I think someone said it's cheaper to buy lower field tickets to the Phillies than it is to buy River End their supporter section tickets.
Yeah, but so that's a hard comparison to make because there's 182 baseball games, so there's significantly more home games for baseball than there are soccer. Because like I want to make that comparison. I love it. Everybody knows I'm a baseball fan, but that's where I struggle with the comparison. Is there's significantly more product for people to buy, so the price is going to be lower.
Okay, so then let's flip the conversation. Everyone balked at Inter Miami prices, but everyone said,
Mhm.
"Okay, it's fine. We're getting messy. You justify it." I don't think you can say established MLS soccer team justifies some of these prices. Like these are high prices.
Yeah, but I don't. This is hard because I don't know what the union's attendance is. I would guess it's probably
And
upper
I only
side of
found
the
this because
league, but
people I follow some like, remember when you and I were on the Philadelphia way back when, the Philadelphia show?
mm, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I follow some of the guys that we were on the show with, and they're the ones posting this frustrated. So clearly they're not happy about this. Which means
Oh,
it's
okay.
yeah, I didn't find this like, oh, just happened that they announced it. It was more of like I saw comments about it. Like I just it makes me scared. If Philadelphia is selling prices at the same level we are today, MFP is going to be another price hike. Like this kind of starts to make me think that that's happening.
So hmm, maybe this is just me. And this is gonna sound like a shot, but it's not a shot at you. Because you're colorblind. Um, but I don't think the colors. I don't understand like these 314 to 306 and then 320 to 339. I don't even see those on
Well,
here.
those are suites. Those look like suites to me, which means
Oh,
typically suites are call us to find out the price. We do the same thing. If you look at our
um,
guide, they'll give you prices for loge, but they won't give you prices for suites.
okay. I didn't take it as suites. I took that as like upper deck.
It could be though, but I don't see anything. You're
That's
right.
what I thought.
I don't see anything like it that looks like that.
Yeah, there's no color here that matches. So you might be right because I don't see anything that says sweets. So that could be what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a terrace up there. Listen. We're not
I don't
Philadelphia
know.
fans. Like
No,
I'm
but
not
I
gonna.
I think this is what we're going to start seeing is the league's prices are going to go up and unfortunately it's probably going to keep people from it I should say it is going to keep people from going to games. Um and it's going to keep us from being
Yeah, yeah. Here, I'm
fans.
I'm on the Philadelphia Union website now, and it shows the suites as being that row, that
Oh,
320 to
okay.
the 339. Can hold up to 28
Okay.
people, 4 parking passes, early access, 50-inch plasma TV.
Who cares?
Just,
Those people aren't complaining about increases.
yeah, because their companies pay for it, not them.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
I think what harbinger of things to come a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's tough. It's hard. Um, because we've been with this team since day one and we've seen the bad and now we're getting to see the good and just how much longer are we gonna get to see the good before they price us out?
Ooh, Monterey up 1-0. A
Oh,
own goal, in fact,
oof.
by Columbus.
Yeah. See? Joker made my point for me.
All right, we're 90 minutes in. Time to wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you everyone who joined the chat. Chat was awesome tonight. Thank you guys, everybody who listens and watches on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Stay tuned Saturday. We normally our Saturday shows are recorded and then we upload shortly after the game. We believe that we will be live from the game post game. I don't know how we'll be able to interact with chat. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna work out some kinks, but we should be live. So we're really looking forward to that. So hit the notifications, hit the bell on YouTube if you want to see that because I can't schedule it. I don't know what time the game is going to end, but we will be going live right after the game.
We'll try to throw some tweets up real quick too to kind of get it, but it's going to be
Yeah.
the definition of a shit show the first time, but we're going to make
I'll,
it
I'll
work and we'll get better.
I'll give you guys a 5-minute warning. I will I will schedule it 5 as I'm walking out of the stadium to go find Mike to record. So that's what we will do. Thank you guys as always for everything you do, for the support, for the love, for the comments, the likes, everything. We really appreciate it. We're on our way to 200 now. I think we're at 154 subscribers, which we appreciate all of you. and hopefully we keep growing so we can keep doing great things. But until the next time, we will see you guys hopefully celebrating a big win on May the 4th. Peace out, guys.